Hey guys, before we start tonight's podcast, I just want to give a massive shout out to TBC Live. Guys, TBC Live is a fantastic way to interact with all your favorite content creators, including myself. Um, you can make all sorts of predictions as you're watching NRL games live. You can make a prediction of a 40-20. You can make a prediction of someone that scored 2 tries in 10 minutes, whatever it may be. You can do all sorts of predictions on TBC Live. So, guys, go on to the Google or the App Store today and download TBC Live. Anyway, where is Barbara? Barbara, hit the intro. I don't know where I'm going with this. Oh, Fanatics, my friend. How you going, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Nick. It's good to be back on for another episode of the podcast, and yeah, of course, a lot of things to talk about in the NRL. The big
Oh
one
yeah.
on Sunday as well, the grand final. It's going to be huge, but yeah, hope everyone's doing well.
Grand final week. It's been a lot. I feel like it's gone for a while.
It is. Yeah,
It feels
long
like
week.
it's dragging out. Maybe it's me overreacting. I don't know.
Mm,
It feels like it's dragged on longer than it should. I don't know. Maybe it's because our teams aren't involved. I don't know what it is, but
oh,
feels
yeah.
like the grand final week's been going forever, man. Feels like it. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to the Nfa Podcast, episode number 9 for your Thursday night tonight, October 3rd, 2024, 7:04 p.m. Looking forward to grand final day, man. NRL season almost over. We're about to have a winner and we're about to have a loser. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens on Sunday night. Just quickly before we say hello to the live chat, we're not going to talk about it on the podcast, but I just want to ask you generally as a rugby league fan, would you prefer the grand final be at nighttime or at daytime?
I'll be honest. I kind of like what the AFL are doing with their grand final. They have it during the day. Um,
Yeah.
I like having it during the day. Look, for me, I think having an afternoon kickoff, I think would be awesome. I think we had it a couple of years ago. In the NRL Grand Final in the afternoon, but it's sort of changed now. We always have it in the evening because of the
Mm.
TV viewership. Because
It's all they
that
fucking
takes
care
more
about. It's all
priority.
they care
Yeah.
about. I don't know, man. I would much prefer
Mm,
earlier kickoff, like
yeah.
maybe 3:30 in the afternoon, maybe a 3:30 kickoff or a 3 o'clock kickoff. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just prefer the afternoons. But anyway, it is what it is. Hello to the live chat. Hello to the live chat. Who have we got? We got Jason Reader, Luke Melbourne Storm fan. We got William Pearson, Josh Rabbitohs 2024. Who else is here in the live chat tonight? We got Kieran. Hello to Kieran Sports Vlogs. I hope you're well, my friend. Rishi, Gene, everyone that's here. I hope you are all doing great. Welcome to the show. Hope everyone's had a great week. Feels like it's gone forever though, to be honest. All right, man. Let's just get into it, man. We've got a bit to go through tonight, so let's try and get through it as quickly as we can while we do our best to entertain all of you wonderful people that are watching. Oh, yeah, and also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you have not pressed that thumbs up button yet, make sure you press the like button and subscribe to my channel and Mr. Warriors NRL Fanatics. That is very important. Subscribe to him and me if you haven't already. And if you have already subscribed, how about you tell your friend Sally, and then your friend Sally can tell your cousin Dean, and then your cousin Dean can tell your uncle, whoever, Chris, whoever. Tell everyone to subscribe.
Yep.
That would be great. All right. Trying to get a bit of energy, man. It's been a long week. All right, let's start off with some news last night. Fanatics, we covered this last night after it was all over. Jerome Hughes wins the Dally M. Fantastic decision, and it was closer than anyone thought. We won't spend too long on it because we spoke about it last night on the review, but Jerome Hughes winning the Dally M, they finally got it right, my friend.
Yeah, so just, we of course we covered on that one last night, Nick. But yeah, like I've said, look, I think for me this was the correct decision, the right call. And he won it by one point. 1 point. It only took 1 point. For Jerome Hughes to win the Dally M. So yeah, look, what a year he's had. He's been such a very consistent player this season. Best player in the comp by far, in my opinion. Teddy ran him close. Probably almost could have snatched it away from Hughes, but I'm actually really happy that Hughes won it. So
I'm glad he won it. I'm glad he won it. I think he deserves it. If Jerome Hughes didn't have a big game against the Broncos last round, he wouldn't have got it. Tedesco would have won the Dally M. So it's crazy how the scenario worked itself out. Pretty insane. But what under Jerome Hughes on winning the Dally M, we won't really go over it much more than that. We did a massive review on it last night. If you haven't checked it out, go back into the lives on my channel and you can go back and rewatch the live stream. We covered the whole Dally M's last night. But what under Jerome Hughes? I think it's well deserved.
Definitely.
All right. Yeah. Something I've been wanting to talk about all week, but we haven't had a chance. Let's do it. Nelson Asafa Solomona suspended, ruled out of the grand final. Nelson suspended, ruled out of grand final. This is a big, major talking point. We found out on Monday night that Nelson is gone. The hearing at the NRL judiciary went for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. What is your 10 cents on Nelson being ruled out of the grand final?
Look, I'm not surprised. I wasn't shocked. And look, I know the Melbourne Storm, they had to fight it. If they wanted to get him downgraded and an opportunity of playing on Sunday. And look, it was always going to be a tall order. It was always going to be a tall order to get off his suspension. And it turned out to be the case. They were trying everything, Melbourne. They were trying everything. But look, I think suspended. Look, I think it's probably the right call. I still don't think he probably deserves longer than what he got four games.
He got 5
but
weeks.
It's now 5 games. Yeah, 5 games now, isn't it? Because he failed to get it downgraded, so he gets an extra game on his previous suspension. So yeah, it's a big blow for the Storm. It's a massive blow for the Storm in their forward pack because he's a leader, he's an experienced player. He brings a lot to the Storm side. So I think it's a massive out for them in terms of their forward pack.
Yeah. I have a very important question.
Yeah.
Based off the charge at the NRL judiciary, where he got a grade 3, and he got 4 weeks, but he got 5 because of the failed at the judiciary. Based off the grading and how it all unfolded, should Nelson have just been sent off instead of sin bin on Friday night in the preliminary final? Based off the grading, maybe he should have been sent off instead of sin binned.
I don't think the tackle warranted a send off. I don't think it warranted the send off. I think the suspension was probably, the right thing. I don't think he warranted a send off. For that hit, I just felt like I know Lindsay Collins got knocked out for the whole game, but yeah, a send off. I don't know if it was worthy of a send off. So
I think he should have been sent off. I've had nearly a week
Right.
to sleep on this topic. I've had nearly a week to talk about this topic. The more I think about it, based off the grade 3 charging, based off what happened to Lindsay Collins, Nelson's shoulder to the head, if Joseph Suoli'i is getting sent off for an accidental high tackle, which he got in the Origin 1, and Reece Walsh was slipping, if Joseph Suoli'i is getting sent off at that period, based off what happened to Lindsay Collins, why didn't Nelson get sent? Like, we can call it an accident, we can call it not intentional, but in my opinion, based off the grading from the NRL judiciary, based off the consequences that Lindsay Collins had to suffer, Nelson should have been sent from the field. He should not have returned to the game. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Everyone's got their opinion, and that is more than fine with me. I don't expect everyone to agree with me on everything that we talk about on here, but I think Nelson should have been sent off. Do you disagree, Fanatics?
Oh, I do disagree with you on that one. Actually,
Fair
I
enough.
don't know. Just my opinion is I don't think it should have been a send off, because if you say that's a send off, then the others that weren't send offs should be send offs as well. Like,
Well, it comes down to the force.
mm,
It comes down to the situation of the tackle and how it was presented, whether they were slipping or not. But like, I know you probably shouldn't compare it to a different one, but you go back to Origin 1, man. Reece Walsh was slipping. Suoli'i took his goddamn head off. Suoli'i was sent from the field. If that's a send-off, then what Nelson did to Lindsay Collins, and Nelson got longer than what Suoli'i did, Nelson probably should have been sent. Based off everything that, with the consistency and with everything involved, he probably should have been sent off. But it's a very tough topic to talk about because there's different scenarios about it. But I believe he should have been sent. But you disagree, and that is more than fine with me. But we'll move on from the Nelson situation into some other news. Michael Maguire,
yep,
appointed Broncos head coach. This is a big story. Now, funny enough, last week, Fanatics, as we were finishing the podcast, I received breaking news about Kevin Walters quit or walked out or sacked, whichever way you want to put it. Kevin Walters left, and then over the weekend, the Broncos did some negotiating with Michael Maguire, who was extremely interested in the Broncos. The Broncos must have been so keen on him with the whole State of Origin success and whatever. And yeah, Michael Maguire, Madge, is now the head coach of the Brisbane Broncos. Do you like the decision from the Broncos? Is this the right move?
Look, I had a bit of time to think over it because, of course, that news was breaking. That Kevy got the sack last week. And there was talks of Michael Maguire, and his name was thrown into the mix. And look, I rate Michael Maguire. I think he's a really good coach. He's had plenty of success. He's won premierships with Souths. He's won a Super League title with Wigan in the UK and a Challenge Cup as well. I know he did badly. At the Tigers, but you can't compare the Tigers lineup, to the current Broncos lineup. You just can't. It's a totally different situation. He's done well with the Kiwis as well. The Kiwis winning the Pacific Championship, also getting to the semi-finals at the World Cup. And, of course, this year, New South Wales winning the series against Queensland. So, he's done a very good job. and I think he'll bring plenty to the table for the Broncos. The Broncos need a hard, experienced nosed coach. And I think that's what he will bring to the table. So yeah, look, I think it's a good appointment.
Probably the best thing for the Broncos. I mean, look, I don't really care when it comes to the Broncos. Like, I just don't give a shit. As a Cowboys fan, I don't have any respect or sympathy for the Broncos. I could not care less. But from the outside looking in at what the Broncos are doing, I think Michael Maguire is probably the best coach on the open market to get. And who else will I going to get? Because there's literally no one else out there. I've heard a lot of the Broncos old boys having a whinge about Maguire.
Oh.
New South Wales coach this, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Pick the right guy for the job. It doesn't matter. It does not matter one bit. It's going to be very different for the Broncos next year. Obviously, they were disappointing as hell this season, and everyone thought they'd be top 4, potentially in the grand final. And I thought they'd be up there, but it wasn't to be for them. But Michael Maguire is gonna get the best out of them. Like, you look at some of those guys that need to be put in their place, like Reece Walsh, Ezra Mam, Cobbo, a few of the other Broncos players that definitely need a good kick up the backside and get fit and get more discipline. I think Madge is the best guy for the job at the moment. And to be honest, as much as I hate saying this, the Broncos will probably play finals next year because of what they've done now, getting Maguire in, and they will get an entire preseason with their brand new coach. Madge will get them fit, and they'll probably play finals next year. Like they kind of have to. If they don't, then they might have to just blow it all up. But do you think the Broncos make the 8 next year with Michael Maguire as the coach?
Look, the team they have, they really should be making finals next year. I don't know about top 4 though. Some people are saying it.
No, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
I hope not.
It's difficult to say because obviously this year I had them very high. I thought they would be top 4 premiership contenders.
Yeah.
But that hasn't turned out to be the case. So yeah, and I think there should be a top 8 side next year, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard to say because you just don't know what's. Yeah.
I expect them to be top 8. I don't see top 4, but hey, who knows? Like last time, Michael Maguire coached a team that was good quality. I'm pretty sure they made top 4. Like a team that was top 8 worthy, I'm pretty sure they made top 4. So, Madge should do well. He should do well, man. He knows how to build clubs up. He knows how to get the best out of players. So, it's probably the best thing for the Broncos to get Michael Maguire as their head coach, and he needs to have some success there because their members, their fans, their old boys, they're all getting impatient. I think because with the roster they got, they should be a top 6 team. They should be. So you can see why they're getting impatient. Do you think Adam Reynolds can stay on the field next year?
Look, I don't know. I mean, like every season, it feels like he just keeps picking up an injury.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Because every team plays 24 games in a 27-round season because of the free buys that everyone gets. If Adam Reynolds can play somewhere between 15 and 18 games, that should be enough to get them in the top 6. Should be enough. If Reynolds can play 18 to 20 games out of 24, they could be top 4. There's a chance. Why the hell not? There is a chance. So we'll see how they go. But It's obviously a great thing for the Broncos, but you know what? As a Cowboys fan, I hope they fail. I hope they fall off a cliff. I couldn't care less. But
Mm,
from the outside looking in, not trying to be a dick as a Cowboys fan, but
mm,
they should go well next year. They should. They bloody should. If they don't, well, who knows? Who knows what'll happen? Who knows? Now we go from Maguire to leaving from New South Wales to the Broncos, and then we get to this news. Well, New South Wales now don't have a coach. So, Fanatics, I know you're a Queenslander, and you probably don't care too much about this, but
not
who
really,
should
no.
coach the New South Wales Blues now?
I know there's some shouts about Jeff Tuvey.
Oh, Jesus,
Uh,
what?
yeah, I don't know. I've heard some shouts about Jeff Tuvey from somewhere, but
Goodness me. It's not 2013 anymore.
yeah.
My God.
Well,
Last time I heard Jeff Tuvey, I believe
yeah.
he was on NRL 360 for an episode during the Origin period, or he was
Mm,
coaching an Origin side, like a women's team, or maybe an under 18s. I've got absolutely no idea. But the names that I've been hearing tossed up, I've been hearing Danny Badiris' name. I've been hearing Michael Ennis. I've been hearing a little bit about Paul McGregor. Someone threw out Trent Barrett. Surely not. Surely not. Nothing against Trent Barrett, but fuck that. Paul Gallen automatically said no. The Johns brothers, no. Matty Johns, I would actually like to see, but we know it won't happen. Laurie
okay.
Daly, I don't think Loz will do it again unless he left the tab job. But you know what? You know who I'm going to pick as my next coach? It's a bit out
Mm,
there. He was an assistant under Freddie. I'm going to go
oh,
with Paul McGregor.
really?
Mary.
Well,
I'm going to go with
well,
Mary. Now,
well.
Mary has a bit of NRL coaching experience. He did coach the Dragons from 2014 till, was it 2021 or 2020? It was one of those years, I think. So, McGregor did get the Dragons to the top 8 twice, 2015 and in 2018. They were literally they were so close to the grand final 2018. They literally lost in the semi-final by one. So, look, I know his record probably isn't the greatest, but I think you put someone with his knowledge, someone with his experience in that state of origin camp. I think Paul McGregor, I think Mary would be the best man for the job. I honestly think he'd go well. What's your thoughts on it?
Um, yeah. Look, I mean, he wasn't a bad coach when he was at the Dragons.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think it was terrible. I think there was a lot of pressure on him at the time, but it wasn't all his fault. Like when he got sacked. So
Yeah,
I mean, he's okay. He's not bad. I wouldn't say he's the best out there in terms of a coach, but he's all right. For what you have.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe one of your current assistant coaches might take over the head coaching role.
Well, a few people have suggested Boyd Cordner.
Mm,
Now, Queensland took a punt on Billy Slater a few years ago when he had no experience whatsoever in any coaching. He just did a bit of behind the scenes at the Melbourne Storm, I believe. So, I mean, New South Wales might have to do the same thing. Maybe they go for a Boyd Cordner. Maybe they go um, at a Ricky Stewart. Ricky Stewart's another one I would love to see do it, but I can't see Ricky Stewart leaving the Canberra Raiders job because I think he loves it down there. And there isn't many guys you could throw out there. Like, Boyd Cordner's a good shout. I think Paul McGregor is a really good one to go with. Danny Badiris. And I don't mind the idea of Ricky Stewart. Now, Fanatics, I'll ask you this. What about the idea of an Ivan Cleary doing it?
um, Yeah, look, I think Ivan. I don't know if Ivan wants to do it. That's the big question. Like,
Yeah.
does he want to take on that next next sort of role? I know New South Wales had him in the coaching box. Was it last year? I think they had him in one of the coaching boxes last. Was it
I think
last
that
year or the previous year?
I think they had him in a like a behind the scenes role or something.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was Freddie. I think it was Freddie that brought him
Yeah, I
in.
think it might have been Freddie
Yeah.
when he was coaching him. A few people have said maybe they should bring back Freddie, but I don't think so. I don't think Freddie will want to do it, especially after how it ended for him. But
Mm,
I'm gonna go. My pick is Paul McGregor, but
right.
I think a couple of Smokies, Boyd Cordner, Danny Bedeiros, or Ricky Stewart.
Oh, Ricky Stewart, eh?
Mm.
Ricky's been and done it before. Like, does he want to do it again? I know it hasn't worked for him in the past. I know I was thinking of Bellamy, but I don't know if you want to, do that sort of thing again because, the
I
last
don't
time he
know.
did it, it didn't work out for him. So
Yes, that's true, but he was up
yeah,
against Thurston, Lockyer, Smith, Slater,
mm,
Inglis, Falau,
yeah,
fucking Sam Fide, Corey Parker.
yeah, all the greats.
It was a
Yeah,
ridiculous team. It was a
mm,
ridiculous Queensland team. And New South Wales had what, with all due respect, a young Mitchell Pearce, Kurt Gidley. We didn't have much compared to that. But
plus, if,
yeah.
if if he did come back, he'd be coaching up against Billy Slater.
Oh,
Yeah,
would
the,
be a bit awkward.
yeah, it'd
Wouldn't
be a
that be
bit
awkward?
different. Yeah,
That'd be awkward as.
yeah,
But yeah, look, my pick and my preference, I would like to see Paul McGregor get the job. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. On to some signing news now. When the Dolphins yesterday
hmm
have signed Daniel Saifiti and Max Feguy from the Dragons. So Daniel Saifiti from the
mm,
Knights and Max Feguy from the Dragons. We'll start with Daniel Saifiti Fanatics because he's played
yeah.
Origin football and he's represented his country, and he's he's a very high quality front rower. Do you think this is a good signing for the Dolphins?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I love the signing. I absolutely I rate the signing highly. I'm a big Daniel Saifidi fan. I would have loved to see the likes of the Warriors sign Saifidi at the club. But it's gone to the Dolphins. So I think it's a good signing for the Dolphins. They've got a lot of a lot of experienced players in their lineup,
Yep.
and they've got some young players as well. But bringing Saifidi into the side, I think, is going to add more to their forward pack, and no doubt about it, he'll be starting a lot for the Dolphins next year. So I think it's a very good signing for the for the Dolphins, for the Finns there. So yeah, I think it's a good move by them.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah,
I think he's a very experienced middle, and
yeah,
especially with the Dolphins, man, like they're losing the Jesse and Kenny Bromwich. I think they're both
yeah.
retiring. Mark Nichols is a year older. Um,
Mm,
they've got some experienced front rowers there, and I think if you're losing someone like a Jesse Bromwich to replace him with someone like a Daniel Saifidi, I think it's a really good replacement. And then you're bringing in a lot of experience there, and you're bringing in a quality front rower. And then it's not like Daniel Saifidi's got 2 years left in him; he's still got a good 5 years in him. So
yeah,
I think it's a very smart signing from Christian Wolf and the Dolphins. I think it's a great move. And
yeah.
the other one is Max Feguy. Now, he's played a handful of games for
Mm,
the Dragons on the wing. I always get them mixed up, Max and Matthew. I think Max is the one that's been playing center and wing. Plays a bit of both.
right.
But look, he's not a bad player, but hey, he's going to the Dolphins and he's going to. I don't think he'll be in the starting side by any means,
Mm.
but he'll be earning a spot. I think it's a good signing as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a solid player. He's not going to get ahead of the likes of your Herbie Farnworth or all your other,
Bostock, Asako.
Bostock and that. So he won't. He'll be sitting. He'll be one of those like backup sort of players, like for a bit of depth if they have injuries, to their backline, which they've had a few injuries the Dolphins this year as well. So
he could push actually Jake Avarillo. He could push him out to the bench. It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, there is a possibility there. If he doesn't play well, or he gets injured, yeah, I think it's a solid signing. Saifiti's a great signing as well. So the Dolphins are doing a great job there with building their side.
Yeah, they're building that squad. They're building some really good depth, and there are competition for spots. So smart stuff there from the Dolphins. Very smart. All right, moving on. Let's talk about this, and then we'll get to the preview of all 3 games on Sunday. Fanatics, is the Storm versus Panthers a modern-day rivalry now? Would you consider this matchup, this clash, as a rivalry?
Oh, look, they've had some tough tussles, Penrith and Melbourne over the years, especially that 2020 grand final.
Yep.
Is it a modern day rivalry now? I'm gonna say no.
Right.
The reason why is because I think they don't often play. Well, they play a lot, but they don't often play big matches against each other. I know they've had a lot of them this year, but last year Melbourne was definitely way behind Penrith. They were way behind, right, last year. And the previous years they've been behind as well, because Penrith have won their last, 3 premierships in a row. And the last time Melbourne played Penrith in a big match was the grand final in 2020. So unless they consistently keep playing each other, for the next couple of years in big matches, and I'll probably say right now it's not. I don't know if there's a heated rivalry between the two teams. I don't know if they both hate each other as much as your rivals like the Souths and Rabbitohs, Roosters
Souths and
matchups.
Did you just say Souths and Rabbitohs?
Souths and Rabbitohs. Oh God.
Souths and Roosters.
Roosters and Rabbitohs. God.
Oh, you got me there.
What am I on tonight?
You know what, man? I'm going to disagree. I think it is a rivalry. I think it is. I think now with the matches they have played over the years, and there's a lot of people online that always say, "Oh, it's not a rivalry," blah blah blah. But you gotta understand that there are modern day rivalries that happen in the game. New rivalries are born. New battles are made. We can't be holding on to, the same old rivalries forever, man. The new ones are going to happen over time. Like you've had, your Bulldogs Eels, which is still very big. Your Panthers and Eels, and Broncos Cowboys, Roosters Rabbitohs Bulldogs. Like there are so many great rivalries in the NRL, but you also need to acknowledge and appreciate there are going to be new rivalries born, especially in the NRL today. Like, there's always going to happen. So, for me, Melbourne and Penrith is a modern-day rivalry. 2020 grand final, 2021 preliminary final. Every time they play each other, it's always a big game feel. It's always intense, and it's always talked up during the week. I mean, it's always a big game, and they're playing each other in the grand final this weekend. So, in my opinion, Storm versus Panthers, I do consider it as a modern-day rivalry. I think it is. But, again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Anyway, let's get into it. Grand final predictions. What we're going to do, actually, we're going to start with the because there's a couple of games on Sunday. Not just the NRL grand final. You got the state championship on, and you got the
Mm.
NRLW grand final. So we're going to give out a couple of predictions
Right.
for each game over the weekend. Let me just pull it up. Where is the state championship? All right, so we got the Newtown Jets up against the North's Devils. This is going to
Ooh.
be a good game. Now, I know there hasn't been a lot of great games over the years between the
Mm.
the interstate grand final, whatever the fuck they want to call it. But I've got a feeling that this year it's going to be close. But who do you reckon, Fanatics? North Devils or Newtown Jets?
Yeah. Look, the thing is with the state championship, of course, it's since it's started. There's always been some very one-side games, and I think the Queensland sides haven't won a state championship in a couple of years now. I don't know the last time they've won one, but yeah, it's look, I think this might be actually a little bit closer this time out.
Hmm.
And I know the Newtown Jets will be favourites going into this one. Um, but obviously, of course, as a Queensland fan, I'm obviously going to be backing for the Queensland team. So
Right.
yeah, I'll go with the Devils. I'm going to go North Devils by we'll say 8 points. Yeah, I'll go with the 8 point win to the North Devils.
I'm going to go Newtown. I think Newtown
Yep.
will win. I watched the New South Wales Cup grand final last week between North Sydney and the Newtown Jets, and I thought
Mm.
Newtown's forward pack was really impressive. They've got a lot of those Shark players in there, like Hamlin Uwelli and Billy Burns and a couple others and whatnot. So, look, I think it's going to be a really tight game, like you said, but I'm going to go the Newtown Jets to win this by about 10 points. Newtown by 10 for me. I think it'll be a really, really good game.
Hmm.
Let's get to the next game, Fanatics, the NRLW Grand Final.
Yep.
We got the Roosters up against the Sharks. Roosters are the favourites, but can't underestimate the Sharks. They've had a good year. What's your take on this?
Yeah, look, two very interesting stories because the Roosters they came off. Well, they beat the Knights, and the Sharks upset the minor premiers, the Broncos,
I did, yeah.
in Brisbane last week. So I was a bit surprised. I thought the Broncos would be the team, to beat and the team that will go into the grand final win it. But opinion's now going to change now because it's the Sharks and Roosters. So yeah, look, interesting game, really interesting game. Two very good teams. Roosters probably favourites. The
They
Roosters
are,
have got
yeah.
a lot of the Roosters have got a lot of experience, a lot of good players in their side as well. They're a stacked roster. The Roosters, as the Sharks, this is their first NRLW grand final in their
Yeah.
history.
All
So
right. Who you picking?
okay, so who am I picking? I'll go with the. I'll go with the Roosters. Yeah, I'll go safe
You
bet.
going
I'll
the
go with the
Roosters?
Roosters. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go
Roosters.
Roosters. I'll go Roosters as well, but I think it'll be
Yeah.
close, hey? I think it
Mm,
will be.
yep.
What about margin? Roosters by what?
Roosters by. I think it'll be tight. I'm gonna go Roosters by 4.
I'll go Roosters by 8. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be close as well. And the big one,
Yep.
Sunday night, 7:30 kickoff. Melbourne Storm versus Penrith
Mm.
Panthers, 2024 NRL Grand Final. Big game. Who do you like, bro?
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna go Penrith. Yep, Penrith for me. I'm going with Penrith Panthers by. Oh man, I'm gonna say I'll go by 12 points.
Well,
Yeah, 12 points. I'm gonna go Penrith by 12. Scoreline of 20 points to 12.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go Melbourne. I think Melbourne will win, bro.
Oh, yep.
I'm going to go Melbourne Storm by 8. I just think I think they've been the best team this year, and I think they deserve to win the premiership. I think it's their time, and if anyone's going to beat Penrith, it's Melbourne. So I'm going to go Melbourne by 8. Let's give out some first try score predictions and maybe a Clive Churchill medal prediction. First try, who do you reckon?
First try, I am going to say, I'll go. Oh, hang on, just look at the team list.
I will go Jack Howarth from Melbourne.
Jack Howarth. Oh, you're going with Jack Howarth? I'll go with. I will go with. Actually, I'm going to go with a forward. Why not?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it in. I'm going to go with Liam Martin.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Liam Martin on that right edge. And Clive Churchill. Who wins the Clive Churchill medal?
Clive Churchill, I am going to go with Jerome Luai. I've been big on Jerome Luai getting it, so I'm going to go with Jerome Luai.
Don't mind that, man. Don't mind that. I'm going to go the opposite, number 6. I'm going to go Cameron Munster. I'm going to go Munster. I think he'll be out for a really big game. But, yeah, I'm going Melbourne. You're going Penrith. It'll be interesting to see what happens, and should be a great grand final. But, Mr. Boys and NRL Fanatics, that's going to wrap things up for the show tonight. Appreciate you for coming on as always, and it was a great show tonight.
Yeah, thanks Nick for having me on again. A great podcast, and yeah, may the best team win. On Sunday, may the best team win. So hopefully it's a good game, and hopefully we don't have any controversial decisions. I just want a fair and good game on Sunday. So.
Luke with the donation, $3 super chat. I'm going to grand final. I can't wait. Go Storm. Thank you for the donation. And yes, good luck. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out Warriors and NRL Fanatics on YouTube if you haven't already. And again, massive shout out to TBC Live for sponsoring the channel. Download the app today, and you'll see all your favorite content creators on there as well. Anyway, we're out of here. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you in the next one.